Hey guys, Chris here, and I got a little bit of a different video for you. This is kind of a basket case, so we're gonna try and fix something today. A while back, I got a 5-string bass kit. This, I forget exactly which brand, but it was one of the ones off of Amazon. And when I got the kit, it was fairly decent quality, and the wood seemed to take stain pretty well. I have this nice blue and black going on there, and everything went together pretty good. Everything fit well. And then I got to the electronics, and I followed the video tutorial that they had up, and I couldn't get them to work. I'm unmuted. Nothing. That's gonna be this video. We're gonna try and see what's wrong with the electronics. I'm gonna pop this down on the bench and we will get started. All right, so we're down on the bench. I've got the patient right here, and I did a little bit of research on my own. Turns out that the video for this base was for a different type of output jack. So this one has 3 prongs. One prong is supposed to be for the battery, and the other 2 are going to be your ground and your hot wire. So I think when I wired it, I did it incorrectly in the first place. I'm going to go ahead and take these strings off because I have a feeling I'm going to have to take the bridge off. We'll get into it. Now it's important to note too, while you're doing any of this work, if you have to take the strings off or anything like that, say you needed to clean this or you needed to clean up, you know, fret ends or whatever, now is a perfect time to do that while you have the strings off. I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna check all my fasteners, I'm gonna check on a couple other things. Okay, so we got the strings off. These might look like active pickups. I can assure you that they are not. They're just covered in this plastic pickup cover. That'll be important when we get into the electronics here. The bridge, also important to note, is that it's painted or it's coated, and that might be causing one of the issues that we have with this base. I'm gonna go ahead and pop off these, and we'll flip it over and get into the back cavity. These knobs, they're the spline type that kind of suck, and that one got stuck right there and pulled out. So I have extra pots. I might swap out a pot if this doesn't go in well, and then I'm definitely going to try and change these out to the set screw style. All right, last thing while we're on the front side here, I'm just going to unscrew these so that I can pull them through and make it a little easier to rewire. I'm not taking off the bridge just yet because I am not sure if I need to, and there's a lot of screws in here. If I don't have to take it off, then I would prefer that. All right, so this is the longest Phillips screwdriver that I have. Hopefully it reaches these screws. Alright, so here's my wiring nightmare here. Basically you have, that's your output jack, and the output jack is connected by these 2 wires. I already disconnected them because I had them wired wrong, and I'm probably going to end up just taking all this wiring out and starting from scratch. But basically you have your tone pots, capacitors, and then you have your volume, and then these big wires here are to your pickups. The way they work is these are double coil or a dual coil pickup. This wire right here with the white and red, this wire goes to both of the coils, and this kind of connects them together. So it's a humbucker pickup basically. And there's a black wire, which is your live, your hot, and then this green and bare wire is your ground. And each pickup has that. So you have control for your neck pickup, control for your bridge pickup, and then you have your tone controls for each. And that goes into the output jack. Okay, so I did some poking around with the multimeter. This is the output jack right here. Please excuse these terrible solder joints, but we have our long stem right there. Ignore that one for right now. This is our long prong. We have a medium prong, which is what has that stalactite on it, and then we have a short prong. Normally, in a passive pickup configuration, you only need 2 prongs, and these pickups are passive. What you would use is, you have your ground, which is this long prong right here, and then this short one without any solder on it is your hot. Yeah, this medium-sized one with the stalactite goes to your battery if you have active pickups. Again, this one does not, so that has to be one of the problems right there. I had the hot wire connected to that. It needed to be on the other one. So that's one problem. Now the other problem is I was testing continuity between my grounds and everything, and all the wiring is hooked up correctly. However, remember what I mentioned about that painted bridge right there? So all these wires ground out to the bridge. That bridge does not have continuity to the rest of the grounds, which means that it's not grounding properly. So we have basically a dead ground going to the bridge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bridge off, I'll sand it down so that I can get some bare metal, and then we'll reconnect it and try that again. So when I put this together, I did sand off so that there wouldn't be any paint blocking the ground. Let's just test it. So there's continuity there. I noticed that there's a little bit of an indent where the wire was. I think the wire was too far down and it wasn't connecting properly, like it got sunk in the finish or something. I'm gonna have to rewire some stuff in here anyway, so I'm just going to pull this out and I'll replace it with a little bit bigger wire. All right, so I got my soldering iron here. I'm gonna start disconnecting stuff. I'm just gonna disconnect the whole harness, toss it out, save the capacitors, and we'll rewire it with new pots because I've got a bunch. And just like that, we have the entire harness out. Okay, so we got our new potentiometers, and I've got two different types here. It's the A500K and the B500K. So the A's are going to be for your volume, B's are going to be for your tone. Alright guys, so I got it all rewired up. I just have to throw the bridge on, throw some strings on. I've been testing it with this thing, this little amp deal. I don't have an amp that I keep down here, so this makes it easy. We got sound. All right, so I got it plugged into my amp back there. I do have sound coming out of it. So what do we learn from this video? Well, I learned a little bit about wiring, kind of worked on my knowledge in that regard. You know, I made a couple of mistakes along the way and came to the solution, so I'm happy about that. Now, I'm not done with this base yet. I still have to do a full setup, but the main issue is resolved, and that is, you know, not getting any sound out of it. So I'm super happy with that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video, and again, hopefully you learned something, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.